Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Nitch. I just wanted to talk through the last month of class because it may feel a little strange. But what we're doing, instead of writing a totally new paper, we spend the last month revising the papers. So what that means is you take Essay 2, which you just submitted to me, and you spend week 12 adding some more evidence, and that evidence is going to come from Relish, which is a graphic novel about Lucy Nicely's experiences growing up being raised by a foodie dad and a mom who is involved in growing food and is working as I think she's a caterer. So all you're doing is kind of pulling in a couple, by panel, I mean just like a box with a cartoon in it. So I can show you really quickly what I'm talking about. I'm sure it'll let me share one. So a panel would be, that's a panel, including that text. That's a panel. That's a panel. So you're not bringing in whole pages of information. You're bringing in really specific sentences or specific or specific images. Like, oh, here's a picture. Is it relevant to talk about what we see in this picture as well as what she talks about? So there's lots of connections with Michael Pollan. There's lots of discussions of social relationships, lots of discussions of ecological relationships with food. So you'll find tons of stuff. And I hope you think it's fun. I think it's a fun book. And it's got recipes in it. So that's what you're doing this week. Next week, you're taking Essay 2 and you're working on revising the paragraphs themselves. So you're going to watch a video that walks you through that and then do a practice assignment and get feedback from me. And then you're going to reflect on revision in that way, on this micro level. And then week 14, you're revising on the macro level or the whole essay level. So you're thinking about whether your essay, maybe your paragraphs now make individual sense, but is it not clear how those paragraphs are connected because there aren't transitions, because the thesis isn't clear or connected to what you talk about. So this is another strategy I'm going to give you. You're going to try that strategy out on your Essay 2, and then you're going to reflect on that experience. And then we're going to deal with editing and proofreading and come back to this idea of academic English. And then you're going to practice some editing stuff. And then reflect on that. So it's basically you're taking Essay 2, you're adding a paragraph or two, depending on how much evidence you want to use, and then you're just making Essay 2 better by looking at there's sort of three ways to look at a paper, looking at it on the micro or the paragraph level, looking at it at the macro or the overall structural level, and then looking at the word and sentence level. And then I just want you to reflect on, during the last week, your experience in the course, what you've learned, what you know about yourself as a reader and a writer now, what that means for you heading into English 101. What supports do you know you're going to need, on what did you learn that means you're going to be able to do that yourself. You're not going to need support. So just taking a kind of personal inventory of what you've learned and what it means for you going into the next class. And then you're going to turn in Essay 2 again, but this time you're going to sort of highlight the changes you made from the draft you turned in last Sunday to what you turn in after you've done all this fixing. And you're going to make comments to tell me, why did you do that? Why did you change your thesis? Why did you add this transition in this topic sentence? Why did you change the explanation of your evidence? So you're going to highlight that and tell me why. And you're going to get full 100 full points for essay 2, and you're going to get additional points for the highlights and revision comments. So both of those things get graded. And that's that. And then you're finished. So just so you know, the end of the semester goes absurdly quickly. So stay with me. You don't have any more reading after this week, and you're really just sort of now spending some time thinking about, okay, I wrote this, now I'm going to try to make it better, which a lot of students don't feel like they have the time to do. So I've tried to give you this experience where, what if you had a month to fix a paper? What would you do, right? And hopefully in experiencing that, by the end, you'll go, wow, this is worth my time to revise papers. And that said, if you want to go back and revise essay 1, you could certainly do that and turn that essay into me during week 16. So I hope this video clarifies where we're headed. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm just doing written feedback from this point on, but if at some point you want to talk with me about your essay 2, you want more help with fixing paragraphs, don't hesitate to reach out. You're always welcome to come to my face-to-face office hours. If those don't work for you, we can schedule an online conference. If we can't really meet up and you just want to ask me some questions and you want me to make another video to walk you through it, I'm happy to do that. Just tell me what you need and I'm here to provide it. So keep that in mind as you finish the semester out. And thanks for watching. I'll see you all online.